welcome back to our channel. I'm Erin.
And I'm Erica.
And today is
Twin Talk Tuesday.
Today is a special Twin Talk Tuesday because we are talking about mental health, as it is Mental Health Awareness Week from
October, I think it was this past Sunday, the
4th to Saturday the 10th, or Sunday the 11th. So
we are going to start by talking about, or I guess clarifying the difference between mental illness and mental health, because a lot of times those are kind of misconstrued, or people
they're
think
used interchangeably.
The same thing, yeah. Mental health it kind of refers to like our wellness, like our emotional and psychological state, like how we interact with others. We all have mental health. Mental health is like across the board, we all have it. Mental illness is referring to people or persons who are diagnosed with a disorder. So it's kind of the mental illness is when you're suffering with.
We don't all have mental illness. We all have mental health, which is like basically like kind of connotates to like our overall well-being.
Right. An example is like if someone's suffering with like generalized anxiety disorder. Or
that would
depression.
be a mental illness.
That's your mental illness, not your mental health.
But we're here to tell you we need to normalize mental illnesses, because just like breaking a leg, we wouldn't shame someone for breaking a leg. We shouldn't shame someone for having depression, or someone for having generalized anxiety disorder, or social anxiety disorder, or anything else. Or
yes.
Schizophrenia, or multiple personality disorder. Everything. We live in a society that to this day, mental health is still very stigmatized, and we need to make that not be a thing, because what ends up happening is a lot of people don't go get the help that they need,
and it gets worse.
Or they just go untreated, and like a totally normal life, if you just get treatment, get the interventions you need, and like learn the coping skills or the medications that you need to combat the mental illness, and you can live a total normal life. But because they're so stigmatized, people would rather live their life thinking they suffering and thinking they'll be fine, and not getting the services that they need, because they don't want people to be like, oh my god, she has depression, she needs to take this, she does this.
We need to normalize this. We really do.
Going to therapy.
We go to therapy. We have a psychiatrist. It's very normal. It honestly is very helpful to be able to sit down with someone and talk to someone and kind of develop a relationship with them. It's called a therapeutic alliance in social work. But having that with someone, you build trust, you trust them, and they're skilled professionals, which is kind of what we want to do, in helping you feel better, helping you be able to kind of talk about whatever it is that's on your mind, that's weighing you down.
Yeah, there's an image that I'll post in here, and it says like what therapy or social work is, and it's like my brain, and it's like a picture of like red and blue and purple like yarn, and it's all tangled up together. And then when you go see a therapist, I talk that yarn out, and the therapist is like, wait, so what I'm hearing you say, and all of a sudden it's like the red yarn. I just got a FaceTime, so we got cut off. But anyways, I think what I was saying was basically, it's really easy to like get caught up in your own head. Like our minds are very scary places. So sometimes like even just saying stuff out loud, like as twins, I get to say stuff out loud, and I hear myself say it, and I'm like, wow, if I didn't have someone to voice that to, or like that's why I like to journal, I wouldn't have realized like it really, like sometimes there's really easy like fixable solutions to your problems, but in your own head they seem much bigger.
Yeah,
the perspective from like someone out looking in is different.
What Erin said about journaling reminds me of a very important topic that we should talk about when talking about mental health awareness, and that's coping, like how you cope with things. And basically coping mechanisms are things that you do that will help you reduce or alleviate stresses, anxieties, anything that you're feeling. And for Erin and I, it's running and exercise, listening to music, and journaling.
And reading positive affirmations and quotes.
I journal all the time. I have a journal. I literally write down like what I'm feeling, like what I want to be feeling, what I want to, like why I think I'm feeling this way. Like I'll literally talk to myself, be like, hi Erica, today is, and then I'll read it and see like, okay, like what can I do about this, and kind of develop my own strategies. Like, okay, you're feeling this way because you haven't worked out in 3 days. Like maybe you should go on a run and see how that makes you feel. And it's very, very helpful. And I know like sometimes it can be silly and you can sit there and be like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm doing this, but it's super helpful.
Yeah. Especially in 2020. 2020 has been like a lot, and that is an understatement. And in regards to like normalizing like going to therapy and stuff, I feel like honestly everyone in the world would benefit from going to see a therapist. Like there's and if we all did, then we would be able to normalize it, and it wouldn't be like a stigmatized thing. I think we've gotten better, but we still have a long way to go.
When we went to Providence College undergrad, we were we took a course in policy, because you have to take, there's micro, macro, and meso in between social work. We had to take a policy course, which is macro social work, and it's kind of about like what goes into like businesses practices through a social work lens. And we were in a class, and we had to come up with something that we wanted to do, like create a policy that was going to benefit Providence College. And our class came up with the idea to create a mental health board, a mental health advisory board, because we were finding that although Providence had a mental health center, when you would go to it, you would walk through these doors, and then there was a clear sign that said physical health, mental health.
It was just known. So if you were in the waiting room and you watched someone like take a left, you were like, oh. And so a lot of people were like,
they knew that they were going to see, like they had like something going on mentally, and a lot of people will just not do that in general because they want to avoid the stigma from other people thinking that, oh my God, that person's crazy. Oh my God, that person, whatever.
Especially like in college too. So yeah, that's how we ended up making the It's Okay Not to Be Okay bracelets that I always have on. Because we did make the mental health advisory board. Our social work class did. So yeah, also, let's see. Normalize going to therapy. I'm just going to keep saying it. It's okay not to be okay. It's perfectly fine if you don't feel perfectly fine. If you yourself are struggling with mental illness, if you have depression, anxiety,
you're not alone.
Depression is a flaw in chemistry, not character. There's literally a chemical imbalance in your brain. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing that makes you lesser than a person than someone who doesn't have depression. It's literally the same. It's something that's wrong with your brain instead of your leg or your arm or any other physical thing that we completely normalize. And just like someone with a broken leg wouldn't pretend that their broken leg's not broken, you shouldn't pretend that your brain's not wired in the wrong way. So
one thing that we can do to help benefit our society in regards to mental health and mental illness is we need to replace the I in illness with we, because then illness becomes wellness. And that's what we need. We need to recognize that it's okay not to be okay. And it's okay to acknowledge mental health and mental illness. And it's okay to work on it together. Because
and it's okay to be struggling.
Once we come together, we minimize all these outside effects that aren't really even that big if we can actually stare them in the face and recognize that.
Normalize going to therapy. Those who do have mental struggles or are struggling with mental illness, never mistake your bad days for signs of weakness, because in actuality, those days are the days where you're fighting this hardest, and that's not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of someone trying to be strong for too long. So just please remember, like, don't get in your head and be like, wow, I suck, you're having a really bad day. Like, no, you don't suck. You've been trying to be strong for too long, and that there's nothing more brave than someone who goes to bed every single night fighting demons and wakes up every single morning to fight the same demons again. Like, I can never do that. Like, that's bravery, that's strength, like, so much strength. So please,
Thank you for watching. I'm cutting it off. Thank you so much for watching. We know that this video wasn't all that fun, but I think it was almost necessary. We like talking about, like we said, Twin Talk Tuesdays are going to be about like some fun topics, but then sometimes necessary topics, or topics that we just find to be beneficial for others to watch and listen and hear. So thank you
for watching. Also, being that we are master level social workers, we have a lot of good like worksheets and different like activities that you can do if you're struggling with mental illness, and we're gonna attach them so like
You can look at them.
they're super helpful. But yeah, normalize mental health. It's fine. You're a boss ass, great, strong, beautiful.
Thank you for watching.
Amazing human.
And you're amazing. If you're watching this, you're amazing. Even if you're not watching this, you're amazing. You're amazing. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up.
Like,
Subscribe to our channel.
And
Thank you.
normalize going to therapy. Let's say it again, Erica. Normalize going to therapy.
Normalize it.
Normalize mental health. Normalize mental illness. It is normal.
De-stigmatize. We're kind of destigmatizing it.
There's nothing wrong with admitting that you're not okay and saying, hey, I'm not okay, I'm struggling. There's actually so much strength in that. There's so much strength in being real with what you're going through and being like, look, I'm not okay, and acknowledging I might not be okay for a while.
And being able to talk about it.
And share your story so others can be like, we all present our best selves and we're like, we're fine, we're thriving. No, you know what? Honestly, if you're thriving all throughout 2020, then yeah.
I know who I am, and now I know who I am. I am worthy. Hear me, look in my eyes. I am burning, turning, smoking too far. No, I won't stop moving, can't compromise. I am worthy, I am worthy. But did you really ever know me? 'Cause now I don't need anyone to see. I am worthy, hear me, look in my eyes. I am burning, turning, smoking too far. No, I won't stop moving, can't compromise. I am worthy, I am worthy.